Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mujeres de Maiz International Women's Day celebration, celebrating our 24th anniversary of Mujeres de Maiz.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Who would have thought, right? 24 years later.
We're so excited to be here. I am Fe, or Felicia, from Mujeres de Maiz. And we have an exciting event today, a live art show, virtual, as you can see, virtual reality live art show with some of the co-founders, myself and Claudia Mercado of Mujeres de Maiz. And we have a special guest today that we're so excited to bring to you, Dr. Marta Gonzalez of the band Quetzal, a professor at Scripps College, and an overall amazing Chicana artivista who will be performing. Badass, who will be performing, but also we'll have a discussion and platica about her new book, Chicanao, or Chicana Artivistas. So make sure and repost this to your friends. Repost right now. This is the time. Also in the chat, let us know where you're coming from. We think it's so important to see that and to know where y'all are coming from. So in the chat, let us know where you're coming from. Whether that be your indigenous territory or the city, if you know it. So Los Angeles, California, unceded Tongva territory is where Mujeres de Maiz comes from. And we are so excited to be here today. Many of us coming from Tenochtitlan, Mexico City, and other areas. Claudia, do you want to say hello and welcome everybody and tell everybody to repost right now so that we can bring more people to our live?
Yes, most definitely. I'm just so happy to be here. It's been an amazing journey and a real blessing to be able to celebrate International Women's Day on our 24th year of providing community service, excellent, professional, high quality programming to our communities, and to be able to celebrate in this way during this time. So I'm very grateful. And so, yeah, please share. This is the first day of our month-long annual programming. So sit back, enjoy. And I actually want to say that I'm actually virtually coming through Ontario, California. So I'm actually more on the east side of LA. And so I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here and looking forward to showing you some never seen footage before, except for one time we did show it at our 20th anniversary. But if you didn't catch it then, you haven't seen it. So we're going to be showing you some highlights of a lot of our live art shows from the past year. So it'll be fun.
Definitely. So let's get started. We're already seeing some of the comments. People are coming from Boise, Idaho, from Oralia Lorenzana. We have Chava from Temple City, Maggie from Riverside. Thank you all for joining. And of course, our spirit sister Piali from the state of Tongva territory, one of our Mujeres de Maiz, Maritza, who's also one of our core organizers. Thank you, and saludos to everybody who's a part of our core organizing team. It takes a village, it takes a barrio, it takes a sisterhood. So again, thank you all for joining us. Welcome to our International Women's Day event, coming from international, across the world, World Wide Web. Here we are, Mujeres de Maiz, 24 years. Let me do that again. 24 years of bringing art and activism and bringing culture, cultura, y conciencia. So important for us.
Women's voices, you know?
Definitely. Celebrating 24 years of sisterhood and solidarity, women's voices, art and activism. This is Mujeres de Maiz. So we're so excited to talk a little bit more, but we wanted to share a little bit about what is Mujeres de Maiz. So if in the chat, if you can tell us what was your thought of Mujeres de Maiz, and Claudia and I will share a little bit more about what Mujeres de Maiz or how we came to Mujeres de Maiz, and then we'll invite our guest to share a little bit within a minute. So Claudia, do you want to share? And also in the chat, people let us know anywhere, how you came connected to Mujeres de Maiz or first heard about Mujeres de Maiz.
So I actually like I said, I'm really blessed to be able to be on this journey, which began with my desire to have a women's show in Highland Park right after I came back from UC Berkeley, after I had got my BA. And I was looking for community. I was looking for the artists. And I came across this political artist activist space called Regeneración in Highland Park, who had an underground radio station. And so I was like, hey, you guys have a women's show? They're like, no, not really. And I'm like, well, can I do one? And they're like, sure. And that just opened the door. I started doing some programming on the radio show. And then through that, I met Felicia. I met a bunch of people, met Felicia, and we all came together and we started to share our poetry. We started to share our stories through poetry. And, you know, it was like 7 of us. And we just found it so empowering to hear each other's stories. And we started to share them. We started, before we knew it, we were performing. We started to perform our poetry. Then we started to sing. The drum came to us. They gave us a big powwow drum. And so we started drumming and doing our poetry, and we were performing throughout LA. But we realized that oftentimes we were the only women on stage. And so we quickly realized that what we really wanted to do was share that stage with other women and allow other women to share their voices. And so that's how Mujeres de Maiz came about from my journey. That's how my journey began. And so for me, Mujeres de Maiz is about, you know, the support, the community of hearing each other's stories, of empowering women, you know, of sisterhood, of allowing all those words, whether they be joyful or painful or dreaming or envisioning or analyzing or critiquing, whatever it is, they're voices that need to be heard. And oftentimes women's voices for many, many, I would say centuries, have been silenced.
Definitely. And what a story it is. We're ready to hear your stories in the chat. We have people connecting, members of Mujeres de Maiz sharing some of their stories. Claudia's connection. We have people who have connected from all over the world just because of the World Wide Web, from Saudi Arabia to the Philippines to Mexico and many other places, sharing their creativity, their art, activism, and artivism. We are so excited right now to welcome into our virtual online live art show, concert, festival today, the wonderful, the amazing Dr. Marta Gonzalez. Let's give a big round of applause, everybody.
Hey,
Yeah.
how are you? Good to see you both. How you doing?
Good. We're so excited to have you. And really, people say sometimes we should not say Feliz Dia Internacional de la Mujer because there's so much to be struggling for, so much pain, so much, unfortunately, obviously different types of violence. But, I think I saw that and I saw a post today, but I was also within the beauty and the affirmation of the Mexicanas in the Zócalo of Mexico City this morning and this afternoon. And yes, there's rage, but there's so much beauty and there's so much celebration and there's so much artivism, right? As you know very clearly from working on both sides of the border and internationally. So happy International Women's Day, Mujer. Doctora, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to our Mujeres de Maiz show. ¿Cómo estás?
Pues muy bien, igualmente a las dos, felicidades. I agree, there has to be, even if we are enraged, if we know that we have a lot of work to do, there's still joy in the struggle, there's still, we have to stay hopeful. And because there's no other way, otherwise we're not going to survive. We're already defeated, right? So I think it's really important that we stay positive, that we stay grounded, that we stay angry, but then also find moments of joy and elation because we know who we are, because we have spaces like Mujeres de Maiz who have given us so much over the years. I feel honored to be a part of the familia from day one. Invited to the very first
Marta,
show.
your story is so important. Some people are saying in the chat that it's a little hard to hear you. So I'm not sure if it's the headphones or whatever, but there you go.
Can you
work
hear me now?
that mic, girl. Work that mic.
Eat the mic, as they say. Eat the mic. Yes, I'm just want to say that.
I had a few people saying that. So
yeah, it's a little low. But
okay.
No, it's a lot better now, I think. Let us know in the chat if it's better now too. Tell us what you need, people. Please. Okay, go ahead.
Can you kind of hear me now? Can you hear me?
Sí,
okay,
sí,
great.
sí.
So it's a real, just an honor to be here and to be with, como dicen, buenas noches, chingonas. That's right. We got to be hopeful and happy about just being chingonas that we are, and being in collaboration and in dialogue with other chingonas. And that has to, hope has to be a part of our struggle, and there has to be joy in the struggle as well, porque no nomás sufrimos, también celebramos, también estamos, and that is why we are creative beings, not just because we have, our traumas and other things to tell, but because we also have joy, and we've also had empowering moments of great joy and inspiration from each other, right? So I think it's important to feel happy on this day, and to, along with all, acknowledging all the work that we have to do, we also have to acknowledge the joy that it is to be who we are.
Sí, cierto, that is true. And you know what? We have to learn that the duality of being happy or angry or hopeful or not hopeful, there's that whole spectrum in between. And that in between, all those different grades, that spectrum of grayness gives us so many possibilities, right? It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be happy and joyful. But most often we're in that in-between area, right? So if we can maximize that in-between area to really, try to live up our lives as best as possible, which is easier said than done. But the more that we practice at it, the better we get at it. And I feel music is definitely a portal and an avenue that takes us to all of those different spectrums of being alive. And you hit it right on the nail. I think it's that there's a certain part of us that there's that little fire in us that just won't die. And as much as we may be tired, right? Because I'm tired right now, but I'm also happy right now that we're actually manifesting this here right now. Even though it took it's taken 24 years, but more acutely, it's taking us about a month and a half just to get here to this little point.
Wow.
So thank you for coming along with us and joining us here today to celebrate International Women's Day, Mujer.
Thank you. I wouldn't be any other place that you guys, somos familia, ya saben. I come into consciousness and to the light with the help of you all. And
yes,
for me, it's such a joy to be here. Thank you. Yes.
Pues we're so excited to have you. We do want, I know I haven't looked at the chat in just a bit, but people are letting us know that they remember attending their first live out show over 10 years ago with Las Bomberas de la Bahia. I think that was at the Paramount, now called, I think the Paramount still? No, I forgot what it's called.
Now it's a school, actually. It's a school.
Right. I mean, it's a lot of things. It's a cultural center. It's like a club. It's a restaurant.
Wow.
But other people have talked about.
Remember that? Yeah.
Susana Vaca came. That's right.
That's where we had the Susana Vaca performance at
Entre
the Paramount.
Mujeres. Yes. That's right.
Somebody else was a brown beret who had worked up and grew in the community, and they saw a booth and heard art years ago by Mujeres de Maiz, or going to the old self-help graphics building and seeing people sing on the stage. There's so many stories. Please continue to tell us how you connect with the stories, and tell us a little bit more about that in the chat. Tell us where you're coming from. Also, whether that be the indigenous unceded land or the city, what is also known as the city. Tell us where you're coming from. And Marta, let us know. Talk to us some more about your connection to Mujeres de Maiz. And then, of course, we want to know more about the book and hear some music. So whatever you'd like to start with, por favor.
Okay.
Send some love to our communities through your beautiful energy.
Man, we're okay. So let's see. I come to Mujeres de Maiz the same way that Claudia did, and that is, arriving to the Popular Resource Center, or PRC, or Centro Regeneración, also known as, right? And my experience with it really comes through. We were frequenting the space because of as the band Quetzal, we would rehearse out of the PRC oftentimes, and also go and study Zapatista philosophy there, organize other things out of there. And so, really that was the space that you show up at in the afternoon or in the mornings, or whenever your meetings are, or whenever your study groups were. You showed up there, and I was pulled into Mujeres de Maiz by probably both Claudia and Felicia, saying, hey, we're going to have a show. Do you want to do something? And I'd said, yes, let's do it. And so I remember putting something together with a good college friend of mine at the time. Her name is Sarah Rosenkrantz. I don't know if you remember, Feli. Sarah, myself, Rocio, I want to say Tailana too. We put something together, and we played something. We improvised a lot, and then there were just so many, but that was the first one I remember. And then I think we played as Quetzal as well, and that was really fun as well. But over the years, I've participated, I don't know, in more than 24 years. I mean, in about all the 24 years. With rare exceptions, I haven't been on stage or in the audience. If I wasn't on stage, I was in the audience and admiring all the wonderful work. But it's always been really inspiring for me to see how Mujeres de Maiz harnesses the energy of different women all over the city, the state, and now the country, internationally. What a unique space, mobile space, ¿verdad? Porque it's a state of mind, I would say, because it's not like they have a building. It's not like right? Mujeres de Maiz has thrived despite the fact that very little funding, little to no funding, right? Obviamente, right? Pero también thriving, nevertheless, moving, right? It's just like a state of mind, a way of being. And over the years, I've noticed that there's also all these, the month of March comes around, and then not just the month of March, but you have these wonderful gatherings, learning circles, healing circles, storytelling circles, all of this, just a culture. It's not just an event, it's a culture. It's a way of being over the years. That's what it's become to me, because there's so many things that I haven't been participating in everything, pero I show up to those days that it's like, hell yeah, the whatever warehouse we're at, we're all gonna beehives, we're all gonna show up, and it's just beautiful. Over the years, we're seeing younger people come in, and all the wonderful new talent, and the collaborations, all of that. It's just beautiful, and it's such an honor to be a part of this historic moment and historic space, state of mind, phenomenon. And
I want to say, I think that you'll be happy to see that with some of the highlights of our first year live performance, you'll get to see Sarah, and you'll get to see yourself in there. So back this was 24 years ago, y'all. 24 years ago, you guys are going to see us when we were 25 years old,
Yeah, right.
in our early 20s. So yeah, I think you'll be happily surprised.
Oh, man.
I ruined it already. I'm letting you know, but but yeah. So,
but I would love to, before, I don't know if you want to share the video, or do you mind if I play a song? Con mi familia.
Mine, girl, please bless us with the song. And saludos a the compix.
Los compix ahorita van a entrar.
Los compix allá, los compes,
Yes,
however you like to say it.
My compix.
Por favor.
And shout out also to Lily Flor Arte, who's also in the chat here with us as well.
Lily Flor, of course.
who's
That's
also
OG mujer.
been with us. She's another OG. Yep. So
Yes, seeing so many wonderful comments in there. That's just a testament. You're right, Faye. And everybody's sort of like, I went to this one and I went to that one. It's like, you know, it's just a total institution. Which, to me, I hope that as folks are commenting, you know, they're also sort of looking at how they can also maybe whatever they can give to the campaign to put out this important documentary that's underway. I think is really also really important, and you know, so that we can continue this. One of the things that we don't do because we're so busy building is stop and document what we've done, document, publish, you know, all of those really important things, because you know we have to leave a legacy of what has happened previously, you know. So I would love to share with you this song that was written at the beginning of the pandemic, that's about ending a world, one world dying and another world coming to life, but not being afraid, because you're in love and you know that love's gonna take it all. Hold me, see the mushroom rise. Hold me while the flowers die. Kiss me as the rivers run dry. I believe your lips are all I need. I won't go thirsty, I will not hide. As the world ends around us, as others fight and die, we know we've done all we could. Embrace me now, I won't cry, because even in the end, I feel strong by your side. 'Cause as long as we have love, we're victorious, and justice never dies. Never dies. Sandino. Yeah. The dust has settled. Open your eyes, we're still alive. Some evaporated, sold out, gave up, or just went blind. But we can see and look, everything we built is intact. The way we love and celebrate, the way we laugh as we rebuild the world around us, as others still fight and die. We keep doing all we can. We don't just survive, we want to thrive, because in this new beginning, I feel strong by your side. 'Cause as long as we have love, we're victorious, and justice never dies. Our love never dies. Our visions never dies. No, no. Justice never dies. No, no. Tan, tan. Yay!
Oh
Give it up
my
for Sandino back
goodness.
there.
Wow. That was so beautiful. So beautiful. Can you
Thank
tell us
you.
who played the piano for us, please? And the guitar,
Oh,
the
man. Oh,
jarana?
come over here, Cosita, with his El Sereno shirt, because he represents. This is Sandino, my baby.
Hi, Sandino and Quetzal. You guys are off the hook as always. Beautiful song. Beautiful,
Saludos.
beautiful.
My little guy is not so little anymore. He plays piano. We're so proud of him. Piano, violin, piano, flute, requinto jarocho. Like, he writes songs. He's just has been around, and you know what? He has been to so many Mujeres de Maiz shows as well. He's actually, when he was a baby, you know what? I should have had this queued up. Damn. He used to imitate in La Quech singing Viento, agua, tierra, fuego. Remember, Gordo? We used to call him
Right.
Gordo.
Oh,
Vente a mi lado. He could keep time. That's when we knew he had a musical ability, because he would keep time and sing the song at the same time.
oh my goodness.
Le encantaba. Le
Well,
encantaba.
Definitely gifted. And I can see why. Two amazing parents. So
Aw,
that was beautiful. Oh my
thank
goodness.
you. Yeah, that's it was written at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was so difficult, and but it really felt like the world was ending, with all the not the uprisings, and the with the just having all the things we were going through, and continue to, right? We're still in it, pero it just felt like que se estaba acabando el mundo,
Yeah, just
And
so
in
much
some-
social unrest, so
Yeah.
much.
And in some
So much
ways, the
ugliness.
world is ending, the world is ending, the world we knew, and let it end, so that we can rebuild that new world we want to see, right? Yeah.
Well, it's songs like that definitely, pave the path, help us. Again,
Oh,
it's
thank
those
you.
portals, la música, and it's just very healing to hear that.
Gracias.
Beautiful melody in all ways.
Thank you so much. Well, I have another one for you, but we can save it, or we could just do it for you now, whatever you'd like. Ustedes díganos, or let us see some of that the videos that
Shall we watch some footage? We'll do some old school footage.
Okay.
Let's do some of that. Let me get that
Okay,
up.
yeah, we're gonna see some old school footage.
In the meantime, while you're doing that, thank you so much, Quetzal. And Marta, Sandino, everybody for sharing. I really, really appreciate, to see you all as a family over so many years, creating such beautiful artivism, to creating the book, to creating family, to creating Son Jarocho connections and families across the world or across the Americas. It's this huge inspiration, and I think many of our communities who are listening and watching really honor you and respect you. And so thank you for doing all that and for representing and for being that compa in the, right now in the back. Right? That y'all are like definitely side by side. Y qué bueno, y muchas gracias. So thank you to all those who are repping. How you doing, Clau? I want to put. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Some of the things that people are saying, because I literally got thrown out of the video right now. My whole computer died.
Oh, no.
But I'm glad that it kept going for you. I thought the whole thing ended, but I just wanted to show you some of the things. Incredible performance. Saludos of Palm Springs from my mama. So amazing song. Que bello. That was beautiful. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, it's saying, that's interesting. It says Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. Okay.
Darn.
All right. So let me see. Well, while I do this,
yeah. I would love to hear a little bit more from the chat. If people have questions, I know one of the big things that we wanted to talk about too was some of the communities that you've created. You've been a part of the Mujeres de Maiz community. You shared a little bit how you got involved with that through Quetzal, through the Big Frente Zapatista. You've also created so many communities wherever you go. From Son Jarocho to academic circles, artivistas, music, so much more. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and kind of connect it into your book, obviously, because I know that's a big part of the different chapters of your book.
Yes. Well, you know, over the years, I've been so lucky to be a part of, number one, to have been a part of the band Quetzal, and which was, of course, connected to a greater movement of artist activists in Los Angeles, East Los Angeles. And that, of course, led us to the PRC, and then to the Big Frente Zapatistas, which took us to Zapatista communities, studying the teachings, you know, all of these years. And you know, and that, I think that was the most transformative, I would say. Well, probably, you know, organizing within our own communities as artists, right? Supporting each other. Because even before we got to Chiapas for the 1997 Encuentro, which I write about in my book, it was really instrumental in just kind of opening my eyes on how art and music, and in my case, music, how it can be more than just a messaging tool, right? The lyrics are really important as musicians, you know, as songwriters, pero I think that we have to realize that at the end of the day, we're still working under the confines of capitalism, right? Capital and like what sells and like, you know, the product, right? And what the Zapatistas and the 1997 Encuentro taught us was that music can also be a process and a way of dialoguing with other communities, and within communities, with ourselves, within our own communities. And so learning the collective songwriting method with the leadership of Rosa Marta Zarate, and then refining it over the years and utilizing in different spaces. And then, of course, meeting up with the Nuevo Movimiento Jaranero in Veracruz and building the transnational dialogue there with different redes or networks, right? And to date, you know, we are a part of a greater network of people that are this transnational flow, translocal flow, right? It goes in both directions, where we have influenced each other, we have supported each other, we have, you know, been together in this way, and are continuing to build. And again, you know, really, of course, as a band, we continue to, as Quetzal, we've continued to put out albums. For example, we just released this album, right? Puentes Sonoros, shameless plug. But, right, we do that. That's really important. But equally important, we've been very adamant about building out these processes, right? This way of being with music, doing music in community, and music as you know, living in community with music, you know, and that's been really important for us, to sort of decenter, you know, capital's hold on music in our lives, right? So fandango has been an important process and engagement of community in a participatory practice that sort of is not about selling records or doing any of that stuff. It's really about being in community with others, playing this music, enjoying the poetry, you know, improvising, like all of these things that go along with the practice. And of course, that involves families, women, children. You know, it's transgenerational. It's different levels of abilities. It's, you know, it's just a wonderful, that's another important moment in my life as a musician that really just opened my eyes to the possibilities of what music could be in our lives. And so these are the two of the greatest lessons that I talk about in my book, which is the 1997 Encuentro and the Zapatista philosophies, learning from them and thinking about our worlds differently. And then the Fandango movement has been also just life-changing. It's something that, you know, that has been really important for me as a student of life and a student of music and a student of just building the world I want to see, you know. And so it's just I feel very blessed. And but it's been a long journey, right? We started way back, which I'm sure we're gonna see some footage right now. You're gonna make me feel old, girl. You're gonna make me feel old. Damn. Oh,
Well, I wanted
thank
to
you,
share some
Julia.
of these beautiful quotes. I don't know if you all could hear me, but it says, Chicana Sky is one of my all-time faves. That song got me through some challenging times back in the day. Thank you for all your gifts, blessings. Familia Marta, eres un warm chingona, or mujer chingona. And then somebody else was saying this, I really need to hear the song that you just shared. And so these beautiful, you know, connections. Yes, we're at stay at home. Yes, there's 500 years of plus years of colonization, 500 plus years since the plague that hit Mexico Tenochtitlan. Now 500 years later, a plague pandemic here in across the world and internationally, and here in Mexico and the Americas, across the world, right? But we are still resisting, and we are still affirming Chicano art, resistance, and affirmation, right? The name of one of the most important museum exhibits of Chicano art, but also through the music, through your beautiful music of resistance and affirmation, whether son jarocho or connecting the Zapatistas or the street vendors of Boyle Heights. Mucho amor, mucha energía. Por favor, in the chat, let us know how you connected with or first ever saw Marta Gonzalez sing. Maybe it was at a Mujeres de Maiz show, maybe it was somewhere else. Or the band Quetzal, right? How did you connect with them? And then tell us in the chat. Well, Claudia brings us this amazing part of her. It's such important work that Claudia has been doing, documenting or documenting the work of the last 24 years. Yes, 24 years as we celebrate 24 years of sisterhood and solidarity, 24 years of art and activism. Por favor, Claudia, share with us.
I will. And let me just say that I did it to document our work, because when I went to college, I didn't get to see our people's work. So when I came out, I said, you know what, I'm going to just document for the sake of documenting. And 24 years later, you know, it's like, I'm so happy I did that, you know. So let me go ahead and share some of this footage from 1997. See how that goes. All right. Okay. All right. So do you see my screen? Do you guys see my black screen? I can't tell if you guys could see it, because here we go. No? Where's it? Ooh. Oh my goodness. Hold on, guys. I need to, who can tell me what you can see on the screen? Oh my goodness. I think I lost you all.
Yeah, go ahead and pick the tab, share the screen, and then pick the tab that you want. You had various tabs open. So in the chat again, everybody, let us know. Once you share the screen, I'll place it. So just let me.
But do you see the screen? Because I see it on my end.
No, I had, and then I shared it with everybody. But press share screen again.
Okay.
Hi, everybody's telling us in the chat the same thing that I'm telling you.
All right.
Everybody.
So share screen, share it again.
Yes, please. Everybody in the chat, tell us one of your favorite memories from Mujeres de Maiz.
Okay, so I just shared it.
There you are. You're seeing like.
Okay, do you see that? Do you see my black screen?
Yes, please share that.
All right.
And make sure that volume is up. All right, here we go, everybody. In the chat, people, tell us what you think. It switched back.
It? Okay.
There you go.
New patriarchy that has oppressed women for over 5 centuries. Tonight we come together in solidarity with the Zapatista women and say basta, enough. We will break the silence and give birth to the truth. Thank you for coming out. My name is Rachel. I'll be your cosmic hostess for tonight. We're at I know, like, it's not the usual format, but we're not the usual people, so.
I was born of the corn in the body of borderland projects about snot. Why has my heart been in pasty patriarchal hands on lockdown with a key lost in our Mother Nature's underworld?
When they be our brothers.
I had to leave her with my parents para venir a trabajar al norte. I don't want her to know hunger.
It happened right there by that 24-hour house of pancakes that has enchilada specials, menudo on weekends, and light mariachis on Sunday mornings.
I recall my people, aesthetic, indigenous, prosperous, until mass rape genocide, their children fed lies, land of the free, declared by who and for, not me, a 360 degree.
Give me, Lord, for being alive and awake, burning passionately, yearning for the touch, expressing my desires, voicing my existence.
Long black hair, painfully woven into complicated knots. Chungos dolorosos que no dejaban ni cerrar los ojos, lagrimosos me quedaban. But I was never a beauty. Oh, and a pity is too pretty. Oh, honey, and ugliness can be a princess any day.
But no, it's not all about just being a woman. Because tonight, I'm gonna let the night's wilderness prick at my skin and tear at the passions that me as a woman desires.
Que viva my ovaries!
Que viva!
I feel like the criolla of the new millennium. My skin is white, my language is English, my degree says Yale. It is you, it is I, it is one.
It is you, it is I, it is one.
Paranoia strikes deep.
Tú eres fuerte, la voz
Aquí no soy fuerte mujer. So who do we have here on the old school bush hour? Well, check this out. Her name is Juana Isabel Villalobos, also known lovingly, and sometimes not so lovingly, as Juana Chinga. Self-empowered love poem, an independent, not codependent love poem, a poem that's different from any other love song or poem, one that can be digested without affecting our self-esteem, a healthy, raw, organic love poem, completely different from the spoon-fed love songs and poems our mothers and our grandmothers used to cry to. No more air supply on the radio telling my dad that he's all out of love. And Mary J, if you're going down because he ain't around, don't take my mama there with you. Tonight, I reclaim my inheritance. Can you say that? Tonight?
We'll go ahead and stop it there. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to stop it there and leave some more for later.
That was crazy.
Right? Oh, no te oímos.
I can't hear you, Feli. We can't hear you.
Can you?
I see. It's one of those Zoom things. You're muted. You're muted, girl. You're muted. Gente, en el chat, en la chat, en el la chat, tell us what you feeling. Tell us the energy. I think everybody I didn't see many people chatting, so I think everybody was just like trying to remember and feel all that energía and all those artivist names and remember like, I remember her. Oh my God, I was there. Tell us in the chat a little bit about your connections to Mujeres de Maiz or that day. Marta.
Yes.
Or Al, tell us what you're feeling or...
Wow, I'm feeling old. And I'm feeling very happy and honored. I was like, oh, shit. That's what I was saying the whole time. I'm like, oh, my God, Quetzal, look. You know, everything awesome. From the people and then the spaces, right? PRC and then the CSO and then self-help. I was like, I know that. Wait, where are they at? The woman with the se me olvida su nombre. She had a mascarilla on, like a luchador mask.
Adriana,
ándale, Adriana. And I was like, looks familiar. That's the outside, right by the herradura, the you know, when a mezcua would make his stuff there.
Yes.
Right. And so
yes.
Anyhow, just remembering those spaces, that beautiful building, and just to think about how those spaces come and go. But look, you're still here. It's amazing. Now we're virtual. No manches. That's just crazy.
Eso sí.
I actually want to say something. On our first year, the footage, you could see the difference as the years go by, right? The footage from 1997 was VHS. We were still recording on VHS. Actually, it was the compact VHS, okay, for the techies.
Yes.
You know, it's like we were shooting in these little compact VHS tapes, you know, and then it went to mini DV, then it went to HD, and now we're doing like 4K stuff. So it's pretty cray-cray. We have footage of all these different formats. And I just want to do a shout out to Maritza and to women image makers who helped to document throughout our years, you know, on and off, and all the women filmmakers that, you know, whether they were just holding the camera for their first time or they had experience with filmmaking and volunteered, everything that, you know, everything throughout all these years has been, you know, coming from the desire to help, you know, the desire to do something for the greater good. And, you know, that's what all of this accumulation of footage has been, that, you know, women coming forward and saying, I'll help you out, I'll help you document, So I want to
Yes.
say thank you to all those female filmmakers or emerging, aspiring filmmakers that help make it happen too,
Yes, femmes in the
Yes.
house, femme filmmakers, queer filmmakers in the house.
Yes.
We're actually going to have film nights every Friday in March. We haven't even talked about all that, but Mondays, Music Mondays, starting today with the amazing artivista, Chicana Artivista, Dr. Marta Gonzalez. Wednesdays, writing Wednesdays with either poets or talking about our zines. Fridays with Film Fridays, where we're going to have in conversations with filmmakers such as Claudia Mercado and many others. And then Sundays are self-care Sundays with wellness and meditations and herbal panel with various herbalists, etc. You know how we do. We're Mujeres de Maiz, art and activism since 1997. Bringing conciencia, cultura, and culture, conciencia, and consciousness all connected as we do, creating community and creating change, which I feel like is what Dr. Marta Gonzalez, I was going to say Dr. Marta Artivista. Yeah, I changed your name, girl.
Yes.
You're going to have to
You can do
add the
whatever you
Artivista
want to
part
me,
as a
Feli.
middle name, girl. I wait.
I mean, name change.
Ay, la amiga. Pues I'm loving what we're hearing. I love the documentation. One of the key parts is that, yes, this is everything we've done is literally volunteer and has been for so long, and it still is actually, but after we're about to hit our 25th year coming up soon. And I'd love Claudia to share a little bit of how you can share and do share with us and fundraise for our documentary. Can you talk a little bit about that? To visit our GoFundMe, and if I believe it's live. It was supposed to go live right now, and if not, we do have a donate button on our website. So either way, you can still fundraise and support the documentary. When we did our first documentary, it was in 1999. We called it a documentary. We didn't know anything of what we were doing. I didn't know. I wasn't a filmmaker, but we just had people who supported us. We knew it was important, and we started it. And ever since then, and even before then, Claudia has been creating. Claudia, can you share a little bit?
Sure. So, as I've mentioned, I've been documenting with the help of many women. And so we have over 20 years worth of material of documentation of live art shows, interviews, workshops, mujer mercados, bunch of footage that needs to be archived. And that takes time and energy and money. And come next year, it's going to be our 25th anniversary. And it would be wonderful to be able to share with the world the Mujeres de Maiz story, which I feel can be an empowering story for not only has it been for us, but to be able to share it with the world so that other people can know about us, and so that the future generations can also have what often a lot of people from my generation didn't have when we were going to school, was access to our stories, right? So we're starting a funding campaign for this documentary, so you can help make that a reality. Help us make the Mujeres de Maiz story, this documentary. It's a feature documentary that our goal is to make by next year. So it's just a matter of sitting down and editing, getting a good sound designer and an amazing editor, and shooting a little bit more footage, and it's going to be an amazing story. So we're starting our funding campaign today, and we're making a few changes to our campaign as in general, but you'll be hearing more about it. So please definitely consider supporting, the work that Mujeres de Maiz has been doing for 24 years now, and sharing the word. And you can actually, if you love Mujeres de Maiz and you want to be help us raise the money, you can become part of our funding team. And just let us know. We'll add you on there, and all your contacts, whoever you want to contact to raise money, you can bring them in. And it's this whole team thing. So it's pretty cool. So if you want to be part of our funding team, you can. And just let us know. We're going to just keep an eye out for an email from our email blast. And you'll be hearing a lot more about this. But so we're just very grateful that we're able to share the news in this way here on International Women's Day with Marta.
Yes.
And so, yeah, we're excited about that.
Congratulations. I really want to encourage everybody, please donate anything you can. Go to the site, go to the website, Mujeres de Maiz website, or the GoFundMe at Mujeres de Maiz. And
if it should be running, however, if there's sometimes some technical difficulties and stuff like that, if it's not there, just come back to it. But you'll hear more about it.
There's actually also a donate button on our website. So there's no way that we're going to not let you, in case you want to do it right now, you could just go to our website. So if you don't use the GoFundMe, we'll connect it back there and we'll make sure that that's happening. So everything has been volunteer for the last 24 years. Very rarely, if ever, there was like some gas money supporting like different things. We've done it from heart y corazón, de cara y corazón, which is our ancestors talked about 500 years ago in the Mesoamerican Mexica philosophy of the cara y corazón, just coming to you in this with flor y canto, flower and song. And that's what Mujeres de Maiz has been. That's what Marta Gonzalez, Quetzal, is women image makers in La Quech, all the different artivists you've seen share from their heart, share because it's cultura y conciencia. So if you found your heart pumping a little bit, hearing the music, some of you were saying, thank you so much. One way to give back is to support Mujeres de Maiz, is to donate through our GoFundMe or to our website. You could, every time we have an event, which is about 4 or 5 times a week, all of March, if you were to do a workshop and you were to pay $20 and go somewhere to an event or a concert, and then you were going to get a coffee and a snack, that amount, donate to Mujeres de Maiz. If it's 1 time a week, 3 times a week. And again, as Claudia mentioned, go ahead and, form a team. I'm going to encourage my mom, who I think is listening, to form a team and all of her comadres and get her comadres to donate. And then each team, all of y'all can have your own teams. You can name it your own thing and have people support Mujeres de Maiz. So, Marta, we would love to either hear, some music or hear more about the book. I have the book. Actually, I should go get it. It's right here. I brought it all the way to the yes. Tell us more about this book. Let's see it. Let's see it. Put it up again. I want to see that book.
So you're going to do a GoFundMe, right? Which means does that mean you're going to offer things in return? No,
we actually aren't. What we're offering is these free streams, but we could do a Instagram giveaway, something like that. If you're trying to do a little giveaway or something, we could do some kind of Facebook thing.
I want to say that I'll donate 10 books to Mujeres de Maiz to give, and I'll sign them and dedicate them. Thank you for supporting Mujeres de Maiz, and then I can also donate 10 of these, which is our new album. So that you guys, but folks have to give at least, I don't know, whatever you say, to either one of these, so just want to, put it out there, and to match, hoping that folks are inclined to give more than usual. And while we prepare to share this next song,
Gracias.
So Quetzal's going to go get Sandino real quick, because he goes and does his homework well.
Thank you. Yeah, girl, the real life right there. Tell us about the book, because people are already like, how much do we need to give? So we'll figure that out on our side, but tell us more about the book. Tell us more about the book.
This book is really, in a lot of ways chronicling what gives rise. I'm not giving the full story of Mujeres de Maiz at all. Of course, I mentioned the first show, how important it was, all the things that happened out of the PRC, but really is in a greater sense, it's really about the change of music conception over time. I want to make sure I don't explain this in an academic way. Yes, tenured faculty, donate. it is about so the book is about the change of music conception over time and the different local community and transnational communities that that influence this change, right? And how important it is to how it kind of made me think about music differently. So it's a lot of autoethnography, a lot of story of what it was like in the late 90s and into the present, and kind of it just talks about the travels of being a musician, mujer musician in a band like Quetzal, in all of these different community sites. And so it's just it was many years of doing this, writing this book, and it was some of it is a part of my dissertation. And so anyhow, and of course I couldn't have done it without these two important guys back here. And so my little guy, I just need to stop calling him my little guy, because he's not a little guy anymore. He's a big guy. He's taller than I am. And this song is called La Vuelta, which means the turn. And really, it's a perfect song for today, because it's giving acknowledging and honoring Comandante Ramona, Marieli Franco, and Berta Cáceres, who are all presente in the work that all the work that they've given their lives to the social justice. And so this is called La Vuelta, and it's on the Puentes Sonoros album, which we're donating to Mujeres de Maiz, and we encourage everybody to please donate to this wonderful documentary that we are trying to build. So here we go. La Vuelta. La liberación del pueblo, melodía, baile y sol, melodía, baile y sol. La liberación del pueblo,
la liberación del pueblo, melodía, baile y sol, melodía, baile y sol. La liberación del pueblo.
Clama el verso de Ramona, sin permiso ni perdón. La liberación del pueblo, melodía, baile y sol.
Llama el verso de Ramona, sin permiso ni perdón. La liberación del pueblo, melodía, baile y sol.
Vuelta, revuelta y suelta, deja lo malo atrás, para aquel que rompe el ciclo, nuevos destinos habrá. Vuelta, revuelta y suelta, deja lo malo atrás, de la noche nace el día, la luz de la humanidad. Por los caminos de paz que forjó Marieli Franco, que forjó Marieli Franco, por los caminos de paz.
Por los caminos de paz que forjó Marieli Franco, que forjó Marieli Franco, por los caminos de paz.
Con sangre, sudor y amor, comprometida arranco por los caminos de paz que forjó Marieli Franco.
Con sangre, sudor y amor comprometido arranco por los caminos de paz que forjó Mariel y Franco.
Vuelta, revuelta y suelta, deja lo malo atrás, para aquel que rompe el ciclo, nuevos destinos habrá. Vuelta, revuelta y suelta, deja lo malo atrás, de la noche nace el día, la luz de la humanidad.
Con compromiso y arranque, tierra en manos de la gente, tierra en manos de la gente. Con compromiso y arranque,
con compromiso y arranque, tierra en manos de la gente, tierra en manos de la gente, con compromiso y arranque.
Despertemos humanidad, Berta Cázares presente. Con compromiso y arranque, tierra en manos de la gente.
Despertemos humanidad, Berta Cáceres presente, con compromiso y arranque, tierra en manos de la gente. Y vuelta, revuelta y suelta, deja lo malo atrás, para aquel que rompe el ciclo, nuevos destinos habrá. Vuelta, revuelta y suelta, deja lo malo atrás, de la noche nace el día, la luz de la humanidad. Tan, tan.
Oh, I have to unmute myself. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow. I mean, you know, Ramona and all the, you know, warrior leaders that we have out there that are willing to sacrifice their lives, you know, are just, you know, this song just totally captures, you know, like that feeling of like, you know, why people do that, you know, why people would be willing to risk their lives, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that part of it seems like it's desperation and just like and hope, right? This hope that we started off talking this great you know, live stream with, and just like, you know, that fact that we know that the sisters we just talked about right now are gone, you know, they gave their lives to the cause, right? They gave their lives, they were murdered, and some of course lost their lives, you know, because of health, and which I'm sure had a lot to do with the struggle itself, right? Pero I think that, you know, part of why they do it is because they believe in the future. They believe they're hopeful because they're filled with, you know, the joy for the future that they're not even going to get to see. Just like we're not going to get to see the end of the fruits of our labor. No importa, you know, we're still in the struggle for the love of it, for the joy of it, because we've been inspired by so many mujeres like the ones that consistently share the stage at Mujeres de Maiz, you know.
Yeah, and it's important to inspire each other, right? It's important to be able to have that space to honor our stories, you know, that oftentimes are riddled with pain and trauma, and if we don't recognize it, then how can we heal? How can we move forward?
Yeah.
And
That's right.
and so, which is, one of the great things about Mujeres de Maiz that I find too, is that it's, it's through the art and the music and that energy that, makes the Mujeres de Maiz, the space, a beautiful healing
Yes.
space,
Yes.
in its own right. So, yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's an
Super key. I think one of the things that really stands out for me always about Mujeres de Maiz is that from the very beginning of our events in 1997, we asked veterana, Chicana, Indígena women and women of color to come to our event, and not only come and watch our event, but we honored them. We asked them to come up on stage. We blessed them or gave them gifts and ofrendas and said, thank you for your work, for your prior work. And we have done that pretty much every single event, not only opening up and blessing the space in honoring those who have come before, the Indigenous First Nation peoples and many others, whether coming from forced economic refugees or slavery, etc., but many other people coming, but also honoring just people who have done the work before, from the 60s and 70s, from 500 plus years ago. From Marta, we would never see women on stage, and the only woman was Marta. And we were always like, everybody loved to see it, right? And so Marta gave us an example, other than those people from the 60s and 70s, of Chicana artists, of women of color artists and performers and musicians and dancers creating. And so that was so important to us that we started creating. In La Quech, which is going to have an event on Friday, this Friday, we're going to have In La Quech members share, and also we can probably record, perform. I don't know how it's able to perform, but we'll probably show some recordings of the video of our music. But starting in La Quech is the starting of Mujeres de Maiz, and us just coming together supposedly just for one time, and then 24 years later deciding to create this documentary to honor the art and activism, 24 years of art and activism, 24 years of sisterhood and solidarity. So if you're able to, able to and connect, donate to Mujeres de Maiz through our GoFundMe. I'm going to put the link into our chat in just a bit. You can also just go to our website and donate there. We did have some people already say that they donated. So I think that somebody was wanting to claim that book, I think, although I gave them the book, I think, for Christmas, but just donate $100.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Feliz.
Oh, thank you, Olivia.
Okay.
And so I think, there's people really trying to support as much as they can. I know it's a difficult time for many of us, but even just reposting on your Instagram, reposting the link, forming a team on the GoFundMe team, reposting on your Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all the things, TikTok, making a TikTok about Mujeres de Maiz and how it's influenced you.
Yes.
That's a challenge that we're putting out there. So, por favor, por favor, share with us a little bit more. Can you tell us how people can get the book, other than the 10, just a little bit more about the book? And then I think we're going to want to share some video, a little bit more video. There's my book all the way in Vélez.
Yeah. Yes. Well, right now, you can only get it if you donate to Mujeres de Maiz. But, a signed copy, right? Signed copy dedicated and thanking you for supporting Mujeres de Maiz, as well as the CD. But other than that, the UT Austin Press is what I suggest. And you know what? I think my code still exists, the discount code, like 20%. So, it would be GONCHI, or I think it's GONCHI is the 20% off code. Okay? So try that. Hopefully it works. UT Austin Press. Right? And then and that's cool. For the book. And Amazon has it too, pero I suggest go to UT Austin. Y si no, and then the CD Puentes Sonoros can be found on Smithsonian Folkways website. It just came out, or it's live streaming on Spotify and all the other networks and stuff. So, which we don't mind. La cosa es que se escuche, you know? Just listen to it.
Thank you,
And,
Fabi.
Yes,
Donating.
yay, Fabi,
Yay.
yay. Yes.
Thank you to all who have donated thus far. Up, Felicia, can't hear you.
Oh, muted again. Gracias to Fabi. Gracias to Olivia Montes and Fabi Torres, Fabiola Torres, and those who are donated. You can donate to Mujeres de Maiz by going to this GoFundMe link. I know it's a little funny, but it should be in all our chats in the YouTube, in the Periscope, and on Facebook. Hopefully it's a hyperlink that you can do that. If not, you can just go to mujeresdemaiz.com, and right there you can also find our donate a button. So either way, we'll keep track of that and support in that way. So thank you so much for supporting.
So let's watch a little bit of more video and then we'll wrap things up, right? So let's see.
Yes, and also while you prep that, I would love to see a little bit of people in the chat letting us know when the video is showing, if you recognize people, if you were at the event, or what you're feeling from the music or the art that you see in the video and the documentary, that documentation that Claudia will be sharing right now. So please let us know in the chat just what you're feeling so far. Also, what we wanted to let you know is anybody that, if you tell us the name of somebody you want to, a mujer you want to honor today, we're going to talk about that in a little bit as we do a memorial to end up a memorial to some of our sisters who have passed this year. There's many to list, but if you would like at that time, get that ready to be able to share in a little bit of who you would like to honor today. And you can put the name in the chat, and we'll also put up some prayers for those compañeras. Claudia, ¿cómo va?
Good. Can you see it?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and press it. There we go.
Do you see it? Yeah? I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going to press play.
Collectivish type sort of group, we are more punk rock than punk rock itself. It's like we're like Beethoven status, exactly, and then they come to us and they say, you're just a bunch of posers. Posers? Really? Posers? Thank you for the compliments. We're not models, we don't pose for anyone. We don't, because, we're from the streets. We came down the street today just to get here. So there's no doubting where we come from. That's the streets. And here we are. We are Los Rebeldes. That's right. And like sometimes people get confused, they come up to us and they're like, are you guys like a band? I want you to perform at my event. And we're like, I don't know. Or sometimes they're like, oh, I heard you guys do teatro. And you know what? And my answer is to that is that we do everything, we do this, we do that. We're all around, we do everything. You know why? Because we're punk rock. That's right. And you know what drives me crazy, Ramona? What drives me crazy is I don't understand how people don't know who we are. You all have internet, you have YouTube, you have Google, you have all those cosas. So you should know that we're not only recognized, okay? Eso es lo de menos. We're an internationally recognized punk rock group, just like International Women's Day. That's right. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, my Chicana. 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 Take me out of your Chihuahua box. Take me out of your Chihuahua box. Take me out of your Chihuahua box. Take me out of your.
Vinieron robando, matando y explotando de la madre tierra. Y ahora ella escucha las lágrimas que brotan en guerra. Marchando por Zapata, levantando a nuestra raza, guerrilleras nunca falten, no espere que nos atrapen. El verdadero problema es este sistema con sus leyes ilegales que no nombran criminales, renaciendo como nopales. Gabachos ilegales no nacieron en las calles, de las montañas a los valles. Esta es mi madre. Si la patria es tu padre, la tierra es mi madre, madre.
As we begin our prayers, we welcome the Spirit, sacred for direction, to join us here in our evening together.
If anyone has seen below, I'm looking for so really I can just talk to you for a minute. It's nice to see you all. I love women. I wish my child was more like
in Afghanistan, Iraq, Ciudad Juarez, all over the earth, Mother. Stop.
please, Virgencita, bring me the prettiest girl.
Madre de Guadalupe, I implore you, please help me find a woman, pious, with a strong head on her shoulders, principles, and values. Una mujer que sepa su lugar. Virgencita, con todo respeto.
No
Oh.
Oh my goodness, that was so good.
That was beautiful. Oh my God. Did you see Tylana? There's one where Tylana's pregnant.
Yes,
Oh, her
yes.
belly. It's beautiful.
So many memories, so many performers, and that was back in what 2013, 2013. So little highlights there. And
Amazing.
and then one thing about MdM too is that it's a space for everybody. It's a space for, by, and about women's voices.
Yes.
But it's about community, and it's about women that are queer, trans, bi. It's open. It's about being connected to your feminine spirit, which we all have, whether you're a man or a woman.
That's right.
And that's what's also so amazingly beautiful about Mujeres de Maiz, and so you have all the spectrum of all these different voices. I love it.
Beautiful.
Shout out to Mello. We also have our compas and our security and sound and just compics like Quetzal and Emiliano Menoman Martinez and so many others over the years who have also supported, helping and supporting however they could and however they were asked. And we really appreciate that over the years. So lots of shout outs, lots of love. Today, International Women's Day, again, resistance and affirmation. So much that we're still struggling for, so much that we still need to fight for, demand. Basic human rights everywhere you look, left and right. So many things happening in this transitional time. The pandemic bringing about so many protests, but also so much visibility of the lack of food, water, basic human rights that so many of us don't have across the world, but also this beautiful affirmation of how our communities can build, even virtually, right? We've done live streams. You saw that in May, we did all kinds of live streams, but now we're doing it a little bit cooler. We're trying, and next time we're going to do it even cooler with moving that thing out of the way so that we can be a little bit more just all branded as Mujeres de Maiz. We're doing our best to be beautiful as we are, positive artivism, and just loving up on our community. Marta, you've been doing a lot of stuff during not only teaching during the pandemic, but traveling and performing virtually, doing talks. Claudia, you're teaching, I'm teaching, we're all educating in a lot of different ways, whether in the streets, in the classrooms, or virtually. And through community. So it's just an amazing time right now, although it is a very crazy and transitional time. It is a lot of love también. And one of the things we wanted to do, what we talked about, is honoring those who have come before us, also giving a space for those who are yet to come. And one of the things we wanted to do was to ask people in the chat, but also, and some people had already started to, is to let us know somebody a mujer that you would like to honor. We have some in mind already, and some people started to share some of our good friends and sisters who had been a part of Mujeres de Maiz and had been a part of a lot of the events. But tell us in the chat, and we'll want to share too some of the mujeres who maybe have passed, whether it's our elders or our own sisters, or like you said, people even maybe not this year, but you had a song, so anybody who would like to share first, from Claudia or Marta, and then we'll also begin to share some of the people that people share in the chat.
Well, I want to think about Soraya Medina, who passed this last December, and she always came around. You always saw her at the PRC, you saw her at all the different shows. She was always supportive and felt she was a mujer de maíz, and I want to honor her, and then in terms of women who have passed, but also honor the women that are still present, that are still fighting, like my mom, Marta Hernandez, and I want to honor today, especially my beautiful niece, Mia Citlali Tenorio, who I love very much, and I want to send a shout out to her, and to all of my nieces, and so one of all of them who are still around and still fighting the good fight, and so I want to honor them. What about
Yes.
you, Claudia?
Yes. I would love to honor a grandmother who her name was Abuelita Margarita, and she was an elder who was on the path of spirituality, and a mentor and a teacher and um, a spiritual teacher from Mexico, who was really about helping people or inspiring people to, to really enjoy life and enjoy the God that exists inside of them. And so
Beautiful.
I want to remember her. She just recently passed too. Also, I believe in February or January. And so just lovely spirit of a woman that, sang and joked, and even her eyes danced. That was the type of woman she was. So I had the honor of meeting her and learning from her, and so I would like to honor her and all those people that do their best to leave some knowledge for the generations to come. Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Felicia?
Can't hear you.
Sorry, I wanted to honor my tia, who is named Ingrid Velasquez. I also want to honor the compañera and Soraya Medina. I would love to honor and connect with the abuela, somebody has mentioned already, Abuela Malinali. I believe a Lily Flor and others, and Abuela Margarita. And also my other tia, Betty Lou. Betty Lou. So I want to share those, and I also want to be able to share some of the ones that are shared in the chat, which are Asada Shakur. Let me go ahead and just adjust a little bit. I'm trying to be like VJ right here. My Nana, somebody's saying Nana Chayo and Mijito Dulce Chayito. Some of them are past, and some people are just wanting to send some energy. Olivia Rangel Jackson, who now soars with Eagles, my sister presente. I want to honor Rosalie Cabrera for everything she did for us at UC Santa Cruz. Abuelita Margarita de Jalisco presente. To all the missing mothers and daughters here in the F, it was a big. Seeing all the names on the walls around the Palacio, around the presidential palace, was deep. But many names of missing mujeres. Both of the grandmothers, we have people listed. My sister, Ingrid, who passed and was a huge supporter of Mujeres de Maiz. That's my tia Ingrid Velasquez. Abuelita Julia, Tia Nora, Tio Jose, Primo Luis, the Mirabal sisters. So we're hearing many, many things. And also just to people honoring the memories of just our events, right? Not people who have passed, but just memories of events that have happened, and just seeing all the amazing people.
Vanessa Guillen.
Vanessa Guillen. Gracias for sharing. So we're really even here creating community and creating change, giving it time and space for grief, but also for celebrations of these lives, right? And also for, again, resistance and affirmation, not only with the fist in the air, but also what we're offering to our ofrendas, to those who have from the past and those yet to come. So hopefully we're showing and setting an example for the younger ones. Somebody had said, was that Sandino singing with you? And so they were, I guess they didn't realize, or they were surprised. So that was beautiful to see.
He has
also.
a deep voice. Yes, he's my little guy. His voice has changed, and he's still singing and playing, and he's still. I love that he knows both worlds. Both the stage, and he which has a kind of value system, of course, attached to it, but also the community part of playing and being of being in community with music. I have a really beautiful picture that somebody gave me where he's like tiny and he's in between my legs like this, and I'm sitting watching. I remember we were watching In La Quech because it's his favorite group when he was a baby, and still for many years, seriously, he knows all the songs. And
Yo me acuerdo.
I was like this, and he was sitting between my legs and he's watching like this. And somebody sent me the picture after the fact. And bien atento. I'm gonna try to find this video because I know you're all gonna do because I'm gonna tune in on Friday, but I'm gonna try to find a video where he's singing.
Yeah.
And he has like a fake like some kind of, how you can wear your pants on your head, and then the pant legs look like hair. So he's doing that because he's imitating the mujer. He's like, "Yo soy mujer de maíz, mami."
That's like that TikTok artist that Chican
exactly.
TikTok.
He's playing like a drum and he's singing the song. So I have to find that video so I can send it to you.
Oh, that'd be cool. Hell yeah, definitely. I want to see it.
Anyhow, yes.
Wow.
Well, I wanted to say thank you so much for everybody for sharing. There's been so many people sharing and really kind of connecting with the chat. And I think that's a really important space for us because we can't be in person. We're not like 500 people in self-help graphics or the Paramount Ballroom or Mariachi Plaza or the Nada Cornfield or wherever we've had our events, right, over the last 24 years. But we really want to thank you for sharing. We want to ask you to donate what you can to our fundraiser. You can go to our different spots that have the information about how to donate, and it's listed, I think, right below. So you can do that. It's our International Women's Day event. We have so many more events. Claudia, do you want to share a little bit more about? Well, actually, before Marta, any closing things before we kind of say all the other events and get into that more specific stuff?
Just that I appreciate you both so much, and every other organizador. I know it takes a village, and all the mujeres that have been involved over the years from Mujeres de Maiz. Thank you so much for all you do and have done for our communities for so long. I know it's difficult, time-consuming, and work that is very taxing. I know you do it out of the love for it, but I just, I don't think you can hear enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for having me today. It's a real honor. Es un honor. I wish I could do another song, pero creo que ya se fue a dormir mi niño. No se fue a dormir. He's ya me prometió dos, and that was it. But Quetzal is here, pero I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for all you do, and
thank you,
amazing.
Marta.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you for being a mentor as well, because we mentor each other.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
A femtor for sure.
A femtor. So,
and speaking of, one of your femtors was just in the chat saying hi. So, hola, doctora Jabel Payan.
Yes, doctora Jabel Payan. We're going to ask all the profesoras, and like Fabi's, I know is also profesoras. She challenged everybody. She said, okay, everybody who are professors, donate something right now, and I'm going to do the same, and along with the books and the CDs. And yes, everybody, all the profesoras out there, let's rile them up, because you use the zines to teach. You can use this documentary once it's out. You can always pull on the Mujeres de Maiz to show up when we want them to speak in your class. And it's the best example of what it means to build community via art, music, culture, healing, etc., etc., etc. Please, please, please donate.
And another femtor, Irma Rangel Cuicani. Thank you so much. I remember seeing you growing up, and then also realizing that you were part of Flores de Aztlán, along with Josefina Gallardo, and our one of our other femtors and veterana Chicana Indígena Mujeres, Xochimilco Portillo, Linda Vallejo, all of these amazing veteranas.
Olivia Chumacero.
Oh, yes, Olivia Chumacero. I mean, there's so many to name. We're so thankful for the people who have come before and who are sharing and creating a world where many worlds fit, along with the Zapatistas, where the revolutionary laws for women are represented, where we hear art and activism, 24 years of art and activism, 24 years of sisterhood and solidarity, creating community and creating change. Marta, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Please donate. And she gave 10 books and some CDs. We're going to talk more about that throughout our Instagram and be able to explain how to get more, although a few of you already got it by, I think we were saying $100 donation. And we'll talk more about those details soon.
And it's signed. These are one of a kind.
Yes, yes. Like, I'll sign it with names too. The Mujeres de Maiz will tell me, sign with names, and I'll send them out. So ustedes me dicen. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much for all that you're for sharing today. We're really excited about our Music Mondays, and we're going to talk more about that. But thanks for sharing. I know you have so much work and energies through virtual reality is sometimes hard to really connect with or push, but you did such a beautiful job. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. For everybody else, stay on for a little bit more. We're going to talk more about our upcoming events and our list of events and how you can give to Mujeres de Maiz. Thank you, Marta. Take care.
Luego, mujer. Bye.
Bueno, so Claudia, let's talk about some of our upcoming events. We have, we're going to just share a few more minutes for those of you who are still logging in. Make sure to turn on your notifications on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook Live and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do all that now so that you get the first dibs, first news on our events that are coming up and that you're able to see this. So we're hoping to do it just like this, where we're live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, as well as Periscope, which is through Twitter. We are not all live on Instagram Live, but we're hoping to do that too by basically recording our video, recording the video of the video. But tell us, can you tell us a little bit more about some of the events, and I'll try and hopefully share the flyers as you talk about them.
Sure, absolutely. So this coming Wednesday, we're looking at art and poetry in the 90s and now. We have 3 featured guests. Iris, oh my God, I'm spacing it on her last name right now. I'm so sorry, Iris. But we all...
De Anda.
I knew that. But anyway, Iris de Anda, poet, and she'll be speaking about her experience and what the zine, how the zine impacted her life. And we'll be talking to Margaret Alarcon, who's been the zine director of the zines that we've been self-producing. And Felicia is also going to talk about how the idea of the zine came to her, because she birthed the zine on the very first live art show that we had. So we're going to have an interesting conversation looking at the poetry and a little bit of the history. So that's on Wednesday. On Friday, we're going to be talking with UnEarthed, showing some videos of UnEarthed, as well as having a conversation as to like the birthing of Mujeres de Maiz, right? So we'll get to hear some words from them. And then next week, we're going to start off with Sanación Sundays, Healing Sundays. And our featured guest for that day is Indigimama, who's a really well-known womb healer, indigenous traditional womb healer, who will be sharing a workshop that day. On Monday, we have our Music Monday, and our guest is Irene Diaz, and she'll be doing something on Instagram that day towards the midday. And the following Wednesday, we're having Teatro in the Times of La Rona, Trauma, Loss, and Resilience, with Chicanas, Cholas, y Chisme. So featuring Raquel Salinas and Elvia Rubalcaba and Angela. So that's going to be fun. And on Friday, we're having Mujerista Queer Movie Making, featuring Osa de la Riva, Dr. Bear. We'll be showing Aurora Guerrero's Mosquita and Mari, and having a conversation with women image makers. So that's also going to be a fun night. We're going to get to watch some early films of women image makers. and the Aurora's feature film, Mosquita y Mari, in conversation with Dr. Bear on Mujerista queer movie making. That's for week 2. And we've got so much more for week 3 and week 4, but stay tuned for, keep track of all these amazing guest artists and speakers and presentations to come. We will have everything up on our website, on Instagram, Facebook. So if you tune in there, you'll get the latest for sure.
So I'm just going to share a little bit more, just since I have the flyers posted, I believe. Let us know if you could see the flyers in the chat, which I believe you can. So just let us know, give us a holler, a thumbs up, or tell us yes if you could see the flyers. We're learning this, we're high-tech Aztecs, Toltecas, but sometimes it's a little difficult. So Music Mondays, you saw it today with Marta Gonzalez. The next Music Monday is Irene Diaz on Monday, March 15th, and then Jessica Calderon, Tongva Chumash, hip-hop artist and singer Jessica Calderon on Monday, March 22nd. Writing Wednesdays, the next one coming up is this Wednesday. Writing Wednesdays, art and poetry in the 90s and now. Again, various poets and people who have been involved with Mujeres de Maiz. Claudia did share that, but I just wanted to share the flyers so that you could see it. Sometimes most of us are very visual, so I wanted to be able to see that. These flyers are available on our Instagram, where you can repost, or on our Facebook, and we will be creating Facebook event pages for every single event. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as our e-blast list, to make sure that you get it in your inbox. And of course, we also have El Mercado y Más, which is another way that we fundraise through Mujeres de Maiz to support our all volunteer staff. So our book talk from Voices from the Ancestors is Wednesday, March 24th. That's going to be pretty amazing, as many of you maybe or do not know about the new book, Voices from Our Ancestors. And then Courageous Authors on Wednesday, March 31st. Birthing Mujeres de Maiz, Film Fridays. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the films, Clau?
So this Friday, we're going to be showing Mujeres de Maiz, Regeneration in La Quech and the Goddess of Corn in LA, which was basically my MFA film. It's a little 15-minute documentary on Mujeres de Maiz during its first year, looking at this radical underground, artist activist space called Regeneration, or the PRC, the Popular Resource Center in Highland Park. So we're going to watch that documentary, which pretty much exposes the history during the 90s of this space, and which introduces In La Quech as being the seed of Mujeres de Maiz. So we're going to watch that, and in conversation with In La Quech. And then the following week, we're going to have the screenings of Mosquita, the feature film, Mosquita y Mari by Aurora Guerrero, and some short films by women image makers. And in conversation with Dr. Bear, Dr. Osa Bear de la Riva, who did her work on queer mujerista movie making.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and the following Friday, we're doing storytelling beyond borders through film, photography, and multimedia artistry, focusing on documentarian Yolanda Cruz of Petate Film Productions. We're looking at virtual reality as done by Scribe Anu. We're looking at the photography at from Janet Dandridge, and we're looking at Sandra de la Rosa. We're also looking at her work, at Sandra de la Rosa's artwork. So all these amazing artists are going to show some of the work that they're currently working on and have a conversation. So,
beautiful. I think, these are really, really key events, these films and the events that we're talking about. I wanted to go on to one more, which is our self-care Sundays. Did you want to share a little bit more about the films, or was that okay?
Take it away. Take it away.
Awesome. So we're going to be talking a little bit more and sharing about self-care Sundays. Self-care Sundays, as you know, we've been doing for a while, and we have our amazing compañera, spirit sister, Selena Jaquez Arte, who is going to be sharing on mindful grounding on Sunday, March 28th, along with Purple from Walk Sister Collective, and a few others. We also have Indigimama sharing this Sunday, March 14th, and also on the 21st, Sunday, March 21st, which is also the spring equinox, or around the spring equinox. We're going to have an event called Honoring Plant Relatives, where we have different herbalists and people working with plant relatives and plant ancestors or plant sisters in a panel platica discussion. So we also, these are just the ones that we're going to be doing mainly through our YouTube channel and going live on Facebook, but we will be doing some midday. Most of these events are all at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as we are in Los Angeles, unceded Tongva territory. But keep in mind, follow our Instagram and notifications, as we will be really deciding to share some of the different events and programming, and do some lives as well on our Instagram. So maybe at noon time, we'll have some live chats with people. So just make sure to follow it. All of this is free events, but we are asking, like, if we were to be not at stay at home and not during the pandemic, we would be asking donation, $5, $20 a workshop, $50 oftentimes workshops. And so we're asking you, instead of that coffee that morning or that tea, or if you were to come, in person, you're learning so much, you're feeling so much in mind, body, and spirit through these virtual events and online ofrendas. Donate to Mujeres de Maiz, celebrating 24 years of sisterhood and solidarity, art and activism, creating community, creating change. So please donate to Mujeres de Maiz by going to the GoFundMe account, which we have put into our shared. That's it. Or just go to mujeresdemaiz.com. You can also do GoFundMe.com, Mujeres de Maiz. You should be able to find it. So subscribe to all of our social media and channels so that you get the notice. And of course, the e-blast will go straight to your emails, and you'll get first notice about our events, as well as first notice on stocks and new items and restocks at our El Mercado y Más. So check it out. Claudia?
Yeah, just want to say, thank you for staying on and, supporting as you always do. And just know that, this, whether it's $2, hey, even if it's $1, it's about the exchange, right? So we're not charging. Most of our programming throughout all of these years have been at a very low scale, because we know that our communities are, largely come from working class communities, and we're also part of middle class communities. But so we just ask that to remember that all of this, if you receive anything, even if whatever it may be, just think of it, paying it forward in some way, and it's an exchange, and that's what it is. It's just an exchange. And so we would appreciate whatever it is that you can. And if you can't financially, we get it, but please share the word. You could share the word, and that's a big support as well. If you know somebody that is looking for something to donate, we are it. We are it. We would appreciate it, and we're going to do something good with it. We've already done so much with very little. With a little bit of funding, we're going to give the world an amazing story, a story that brings light to their lives, a story that is about empowering human beings, ourselves. And so, yeah, I just want to say thank you, and I'm grateful, very grateful for this opportunity.
We are so thankful to everybody. We thank the creator, creatrix. We thank our ancestors, our families and circles of supporters and friends, partners, all the people over the last 24 years who have donated their time, performed, published with us, come to an event, donated their time, submitted artwork, put up artwork, our interns. I just sent an email to our interns over the last 8 years, all these people who have been a part of Mujeres de Maiz. we've always said todos somos mujeres de maíz, and we really believe that. You maybe just found out about us today, and that's fine. Todos somos mujeres de maíz. You are part of our circle now. You are part of our space. If you didn't have a circle, you now have this virtual circle. Join us on Instagram, join us on Facebook, and join us by following our YouTube and subscribing to our channel. We would love to come up on and have more of support through YouTube as well. Of course, donate so that we can you can see some of the documentaries or documentaries over the years. Thank you so much. Sending love to our beautiful zine creator, Mujeres de Maiz co-director, artist extraordinaire, Profe Margaret Kika Alarcón, who will be part of the event. Lorena Santos, our beautiful mother, maestra, and compañera, spirit sister, part of some of the sisters who are holding down the Coyoshalki Circle, Lorena Santos, our spirit sister, Veronica, so many who are saying thank you. Belardo from La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, who had us recently on to explain what we were doing and some of our work. So thank you so much, everybody. We love you. We thank you for your creations. We hope all are well in mind, body, and spirit. And we thank all of everybody for taking care and being well today. Again, repost this. This will be up on our YouTube forever now. So please repost, donate. Please decide to become, create a team to be able to create your own team to donate to the Mujeres de Maiz event, and specifically to the documentary event. So thank you, Megan, all of our people, Lily, Maritza, all the crew, Nadia. There's so many to list that have been a part of this organizing and texting away. We'll see you Wednesday and Friday and Sunday for the next month. And of course, we thank you and many blessings.
Buenas noches. Have a good night. Rest up. Take good care of yourself and your families. We wish you the best, and we'll see you soon.
Adios. Blessings.